Bullnanza Stud Services presents Bullnanza Bull Chat. Here we'll be bringing you breeder spotlights, as well as bull stud news and our famous bull chat. We'll be talking about some of the best bulls in the industry. So join us here weekly at Bullnanza Bull Chat and find us at bullnanza.com. We're going to bring on Matthew Campbell, a little impromptu action. He's actually bringing up our embryo calves on the side of reset cows. We split them up, take them off the cows, and put them underneath fans and portacles during the day. They have a really, really rough life around here.
Oh, for sure.
All right, Matt, who is your favorite of the embryo calves? I think I know the answer.
The favorite of my embryo calves is a calf called Peaches. And she is a blind calf, and I like her a whole bunch. I think she's got a great hind leg on her. On top of that, though, she's got an awesome personality. So,
you know, kind of like we wonder about Alyssa, the women that tend to love Matt are blind.
It's true. Yeah, she's got bad eyesight too. But yeah, no, I like her a lot. But if I think we're being serious and talking about from a true market or breeding standpoint, there's a standout bull calf that I love, and then there's an in-God We Trust bull calf that I love, and I think both of them are great, whether you keep them intact or you cut them and use them as a market animal.
And I think that segues right into my next question. Favorite club calf bull of all time?
It's without a doubt, there's the one, the only, in God We Trust.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty easy to say, I think.
Dollars, quality, and winning. He kind of does it all.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, I think if you look, whether it's slick or it's haired, he can just produce them both. And so.
And steer or heifer.
Yeah.
Because what he said, we have approximately 40 embryo calves on the ground, and his favorite was a standout. Standout's a new bull of horns. That's a red TH carrier, sugar bear, red hawk. However, you may not even recognize this, but his mama is the first in God We Trust female to have ever calved. And this is her first bull calf ever, is that standout. So here we have In God We Trust producing from the female side, and his second favorite is In God We Trust sire. Which calf is that one? The In God We Trust sired calf.
It is that 747, which is that Hereford cow on In God We Trust, and he's kind of there's two of them that are real good, but the one that's maybe a little bit wider hipped.
Yeah, the motley face.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I think, well, either one of them is going to be a good calf, but I really like
So if y'all followed my sale, there was a donor cow in there that I originally bought from Jensen Merrill that was Hereford sired and main heat wave on the bottom. She was clean, everything, and I wanted to use her to try to make semis and Simbrals. And in this particular flush, we flushed her to In God We Trust, and man, they're all like cookie cutter, yellow to dark orange, motley face or baldies. And that one particular calf he's talking about is going to be pretty special. I think.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Peaches is probably going to have to make a debut here on the show, I think.
Oh, for sure. I bet we could sit her in the lap and she'd probably just stay right there.
Matt kind of shows her like a lamb. He goes in there, she hears his voice, and she spins around, comes up to him, and he picks her head up and props her up like she's a little show lamb.
Yeah, I mean, Jason says she's stupid. I don't think she's stupid. She knows her name. She knows my voice. She knows her mama's call, too. But actually, you know, if you take the blind part out of her, she really is an awesome calf.
All right, Matt, change gears a little bit. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you something that we talked about a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm a little nervous at what you're going to say, to be quite honest.
Okay.
So, it is first week of September.
Yes.
Not only did we start dove season, but we started football season.
True.
We're in the middle of calving season.
Ow.
But around here at Bullnanza, we're about to start bull collection season.
Yeah.
Fall weather, things start picking up around here. Semen quality jumps up. So we're going to have a lot of bulls coming in. What I want is to know if I own a bull and I want to bring him in to get collected, what do I need to do, maybe nutrition-wise or just anything to prepare to before I bring him in to set myself up for success when he gets here at Bullnanza Stud Services in Sweetwater?
Well, actually, something that I've noticed is you actually don't want your bull to be looking fat. Fat content on a bull just drives down his semen quality and his production. So you don't need to be feeding him necessarily a high grain feed or a high protein or high carb feed.
And that does two things. One, you don't want them fat, and when you're feeding them real heavy, their internal body temperature will rise, and temperature, just like why the fall works, is detrimental to heat quality. So what was your next?
My next thing is something that I think guys don't actually talk about a lot, and that's foot health on your bulls. Making sure that bull is comfortable and that he doesn't have any infections or something going on there, I think is huge. And not only that, but making sure his feet are hard and he's not soft.
How do you do that?
Well, one, making sure you're trimming them, and after you do trim them, applying some sort of hoof hardening,
like a copper tox.
Yeah, copper tox. WD-40 is good. There's a couple other ones out there. I mean, there's probably about 30, 40 hoof dressing products out there.
I would say that may be the number one driver down of semen quality is whenever a bull's developing an abscess, and those things are kind of hidden. We don't know until they start trying to come out or he starts getting tender. But if his semen quality dips, that's one of the first things we check. We put them on the table, roll them over, and see what we got going on in our feet. Because it is crazy how much it affects semen quality. And I believe part of that, not only is it not good having an infection in there, but it seems like whenever those bulls are laying down a lot, and they would if they're hot or if their feet are hurting, and whenever they're laying down, their testicles don't have the opportunity to get away from their body, get away from the body heat, and so that heat is a big driver. So feet. What about, we've talked about mineral.
Well, making sure they have some sort of mineral that they have access to, whether it's a cube or it's a lick tub. There's a wide variety of them you can use. There's the Kool-Aid.
Loose mineral.
Yeah, loose mineral. Just as long as you have something in there, because it lubricates their joints, so it helps them stay healthy and helps them stay comfortable, which I think is a huge component to bulls, to cows, to your club calves, whatever you're doing, making sure those animals are comfortable and functional. So making sure you got mineral out there.
Another way to get mineral in an animal fast, and to me, the studies that I've done, it's not particularly long lasting. However, it does have a fairly immediate effect and lasts 45, 60 days, and that's giving them a shot of multimin. That's a good way to ensure that they're up to snuff in the mineral department, as well as doing your loose mineral or a mineral tub or whatever mineral they like. To me, if I'm putting a mineral out and they're not consuming it, I'm not happy. I don't want to be cheap on the consumption of the mineral. I want them to be going after it. That way I know that's in their system.
And something that I really noticed with Rory actually is his
Rory D. Shout out Rory D. Legend.
His output of mineral.
And I'm sorry, Rory D. We've called him Matthew Campbell or Matt on the show, but this is one and only Meathead, dubbed by infamous Rory D.
That's me. But his output of mineral is, out of the operations I've been to, he's the most consistent and on top of it that I've ever seen. I mean, he's always saying, do we need to go get mineral? Have you checked mineral? Have you done this? And I think you really notice it too when you go and look at his stock, whether it's his cows, his bulls, or his club calves. They're always got mineral, and I really don't encounter, when I was there, I never really encountered too many joint issues with their animals, or comfort issues, for that matter. So I think that is a big testament to what mineral can do, and
being consistent with it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of studies, guys, even on your cows. I know we focus more on the bull side, but having good mineral out year round for those cows, I am very guilty of having mineral out right before calving and then through getting them bred, and then I kind of kick them out once they're bred and cheapen it up a little bit. But while that fetus is growing through that first, second, third trimester, have that mineral out, and that fetus will be as healthy as possible.
Yeah, no. Mineral is a huge component. Your feed is a huge component. And
What about do these bulls need to be like pinned up for a little while before they come, or straight off the cows, or?
You know, I haven't been here long enough to testify which one I think is better or worse. I have seen a lot of bulls that come straight off cows, and sometimes they're really producing, and sometimes they've been worked so hard on them cows that it wears them down, and they maybe aren't producing. Now, if you keep them pinned up, to me, and you're not allowing them to go out and do bull things, as we would say, then I think it can hurt them, and we can get them back on track, you know, but that first couple times we collect them, it seems like their semen quality is subpar. And so
typically, if they've been worked hard on cows, their semen quality is as good as ever if they're haven't been worked so hard where they're either malnourished or hurting.
Yeah.
If they're hurting, they're doing a lot of laying around. We get into the same issue like with the feet. And another thing is that first week or so, especially if they just bred some right before they got here, the biggest issue is not necessarily morphology, but just that semen's more diluted.
Yeah.
And so that next week it tends to pack a little bit more punch.
Trying to make it go a little bit further. But that goes back to consistency. You know, with your mineral, with your feed, and with your care of your project. You know, it goes a long way if you're consistent with something, and maybe something happens and you have to take a dip. If you've been consistent, it's not as hard as if you're like, oh, I just put mineral out here and there, or I have their feed ration is healthy here or there. If you're being consistent with it, it pays off in the end. So
it's something I would say is I know whenever you have your bull at the bull stud, because I have had my own there, and you know people are coming in and out, there's going to be traffic, and especially here when we do semen sales, and you may be wanting that bull here to get some extra foot traffic, especially this fall and breeding season. If you have a bull that you want people to see, I would probably have him here at Bullnanza Stud Services. And to me, you want those bulls fat and in good shape.
Yeah.
However, if they're not making semen, then it's detrimental as well.
Yeah.
So just have them in good working condition, and I promise while they're here, we'll have them full. We try not to send anything back in lesser shape than when it got here.
Yeah.
And I think we have happy customers from day one through now, especially in that aspect of the game. I love the cattle looking good, and I love showing off the cattle when people come and go through them. My son in the evenings likes to go through the bulls, and I want him looking good whenever he does. So
yeah. Well, and from our standpoint, if the bulls are healthy and they're looking good, it helps us generate new customers. It helps us keep customers, and on top of that,
one more question. You didn't know this was coming. He actually didn't even know he's going to be on here, that I was set up today.
No.
So tell me a two-part question. One, what are the things that we have to offer here at Bullnanza? And two, what does Bullnanza mean to you?
Well, things we have to offer. One, I think we offer a big advantage over a lot of people is our genetic testing. And Mary, the lab lady, she is fantastic, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, she's consistent on getting your test to you in a reasonable amount of time, which
quicker than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, she's fast and she's spot on, and she stays on top of it. And I think our overall team here, we jive pretty well together. We all complement each other. If someone's weak in one area, there's someone who's strong in that area. I mean, we got our glorious leader over here, Kolten Thigpen, And then we got our slave driver, Jason Holder. No, Jason's awesome.
Kind of.
No, Jason, he is cool. He's just got his quirks if you know him. But yeah, I think we all work well together. We stay on top of things pretty good. And we're a lot of fun to be around. I feel like, if you come out here and you're looking at cows, it's always a good experience.
So whenever you do come out here, what can you expect to see? What do we have going on?
Well, it's a zoo out here. We got, some days you may come and we're pulling embryos on cows, or someday you may come and we're collecting bulls.
Or pulling calves.
Yeah, or pulling calves. It can be a fiasco in a good way. You come out here and you're like, man, these people are doing everything under the sun. But yeah, on a typical day, if it's a Tuesday and you come out, we will be collecting bulls. Any other day of the week, it can range from a wide variety of things. Like I said, we could be collecting embryos, we could be pulling calves if it's calving season, which we pray and hope we don't have to do that very often. We want it always to be a healthy birth, but
right.
Occasionally you got to get in there and give them a little bit of that power to them.
Oh yeah. That's why we hire strapping young men like Campbell here.
But we could be trimming feet on calves we've sold. If it's, we're getting ready for a show, you can come by and we're clipping calves or we're slicking them. We're doing a wide variety, like I said.
Working on showmanship.
Kolten is one of the best coaches out there when it comes to showmanship. I think a lot of people teach the fundamentals pretty well, but Kolten can go and that extra step and teach you some little tips and tricks and get you in the mind of that judge too and how he views you showing that calf. And I think that's important. And he does a great job with that, and I think it shows. We had champion showmanship at
oh yeah, that's right, old Pee Wee.
Yeah, old
he's
Pee-wee
actually he's Pee Wee Weston Hendricks. He's not on the payroll per se, but he comes out here and he works to pay off some of his show calf debt, and he says, Bush, I'm out here to work so I can learn. And I don't know how much he's learning. We fill him with a lot of BS.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. He's a second-year cattle showman.
Yeah.
And he went to Show Steer Junior Nationals that the Meyer family put on there in Abilene. And he was champion junior showman.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that boy. He's actually in the video kind of commercial thing, the opener for this deal. That's getting bucked off. Oh, we'll answer that. Hello.
Good.
Hey, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're currently on a recording for like a video podcast. If you want to give a shout out to Slate May Show Goats and the best girl showman in the business, you can.
Well, I don't raise show goats anymore, but
Dad,
shout out to my three daughters.
There we go.
Are we live?
We're live. Well, no, it can get cut out, but we can also put it in if you want.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I am calling everybody that bought tables last year at that Syndicate deal,
Yeah.
giving them first option. No pressure, but I wanted to holler and see if you wanted to do that again this year.
Yeah, what was the deal on that? I forgot.
So it's a full table of 8 for $1,000 or half a table of 4 for $500.
And what's the date?
It's October 16th.
October 16th, TAHOKA Show Syndicate.
Yes, sir.
And this goes to all the kids.
Exhibitors in TAHOKA.
Yep. Yep.
FFA and 4-H.
And who's singing this time?
Mark CHESTNUT.
Ooh! Yeah, buddy. Let's do a full table.
Hey, man, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you. I'll send you some info and stuff beforehand.
Yeah, perfect.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Hey, you can announce on your podcast we're selling tables.
Yeah, that's why I was asking some of those questions. 'Cause we may go ahead and put it on here. All right.
What podcast is it?
Well, we're doing kind of a Bullnanza breeder spotlight news update deal. We actually just did a segment saying how the Aggies are going to do tomorrow. Do you want to give a shout out to that middle school team in Lubbock?
So they're probably going to get beat. But we'll circle back to the spring and be good in basketball.
There we go.
Yeah. And we've got the best meats and livestock judging teams around.
That is true, and it's been that way for a little while.
Yeah. All right. Well, have fun. We appreciate it. Cool.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye. Oh, Slate May. Hey, they started that TAHOKA Stock Show Syndicate deal, and they host it there on the south side of Lubbock at the Garage. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's that venue place. It's you'll see it just as you're going into Lubbock. It's got all the big.
Got that big arena, and
Yeah.
then they have the hundreds of thousands of signs.
Yeah.
And that was a cool place. We went last year. One, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Two, knowing that you're giving back to a great group of stock show kids and families, and they're the ones that are putting it on. They're doing the work, and just like Slate there, I think it was Slate's idea, him, and he got a committee together to put that thing going, and they fed us good.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Last year, what's the Pancho Villa comedian guy? What's his name?
Oh.
Chuck Wilfone.
Yeah.
He was the entertainer last year, and then there was a guy singing. I don't remember who it was. I had to leave early because I got kiddos to get home to. But hopefully they'll be able to make it, and they'll probably get me to bid that extra time. They had the coolest thing. These like miniature little gas-powered four-wheelers pulling a stock trailer with little stuffed animals and stuff in it. It was a little bit dangerous and a lot of bit fun, and I bid pretty high, but there was a couple ladies that auctioneer kind of got going.
That's some deep pockets.
Yeah, they're deeper than mine for sure. But it's a good cause. Y'all, if you're interested in getting a table, getting tickets, or supporting in any way, TAHOKA Stock Show Syndicate, October 16th, there south of Lubbock. You can reach out to me or Slate May or Matt Woodley, any of those guys to get your tickets.
Yep.
All right, so that last question, what does Bullnanza mean to you?
What does Bullnanza mean to me? For me, Bullnanza means the future. And I say that in a personal respect and in an industry respect. I think we're doing a lot of things here that are going to be part of the future. How we look at genetics from a bull standpoint, from a cow standpoint, and how we look at the trend of the industry. I think there's a lot of change that's coming with the cattle industry, and one of the leaders in it, I think, is Kolten. What he's done with the Brahman breed is incredible, and he's created this formula for producing these calves of really American influence as a broad spectrum. Whether it's Brahman, it's just your straight old Americans, or all the kind of fine breeds within there that people.
He's a pig guy.
Yeah.
And Rory kind of transformed him a little bit and got him into this cattle deal. And on the cattle side, he's a haired guy. So he's a little bit in foreign territory with these Americans. So what he means to say is like ABC, Simbrel,
There you go. Yeah, I look forward to the pulling some hair and throwing some paint part of the show.
And I've never done that in my life, not once.
But somehow he decided to hire me. But what Kolten's done with that is truly impressive. And coming up here, Rory was like, he does good with the Brahmins, and I was like, man, it's Brahmins. And then the first time I saw some of the calves he raised, I was like, wow, he really is doing a lot with them. I mean, if you know how to look at Americans and you can see them for what they really are. If you took Koltens and you cut out that hump and you cut out that sheath and that extra neck skin, I mean, these things are built better than and made better than 99% of them clubby ones that are out.
That's what we're trying to do, but I have to give props mainly to, I got some great show families that develop these animals. I get them born, get them on the ground, and they grow them out and get them to where they need to be. And I want to say thank y'all to those kids and those families that not only do it once, but do it year after year. And I'm very appreciative for that.
Well, and going back to the future thing, the bulls we have come in here, something that Kolten is really great about is using new bulls. And as much as we say In God We Trust is the best bull on the market, and he is, without a doubt, the best one on the market, I'm not saying he's not, Kolten is always looking for something to change the game and using these bulls that come here on his own cows and trying to get these calves out that we think can improve and can add something to the club calf industry, or, you know, whatever you're looking for, your cow herd, because we do have a lot of heifers that come out, and especially, you know, this year we have some heifers running through there that are phenomenal. There's a standout one, there's a red wolf one, there's some Brahman ones out of Captain, and I mean, I think they're all will be a big bonus to anyone's cow herd, Kolten's, you know.
And you know, when it comes to semen sales, I think where we're different is, man, we're in more ways than we'd like to admit very hands-on with these bulls. And we see them every day, get take care of them, particularly the ones that we market that we've collected. I mean, they're right here. We see how they change on feed. We see just basically like you're an owner, just the ins and outs of these bulls and how they're built. So I feel confident in selling y'all semen, especially on an unproven bull, just because maybe I've used a sire, dam, or just trust the person he came from. But man, I get to study these bulls day in and day out and just really get a good read on them. It's not a 5-15 minute, it's a 5-day, 5-month study that I get on them. And so I just like to offer that perspective to you. Am I all-knowing and just know it all? No. However, I just try to let you know what I see and be as transparent as possible. And so I think that gives us not only an edge, but just, I think that's something that everybody would like to do that's in this business that's using these AI sires, is see them. However, with as busy as our schedules are and as spread out as these bulls are, since we have access to places all over the country, it's just not feasible to be able to lay eyes on them. So what you're going to get from us is just an honest opinion of what we see, them standing on the hoof, and how we think they could work best, because we want you to succeed. If you don't succeed, then you're not going to be a repeat customer, and we want repeat customers. So anything we tell you isn't to sell you something, it's to set you up for success, and we truly want you and your operation to excel and be great.
We, you know, when people ask us, hey, tell us about this bull, I mean, we give them our honest opinion and what we see and how we view them, and I think that adds to the value of our company, and I think that, you know, brings a lot of customers here and keeps a lot of customers here.
So if you want a well-rounded view of the industry, from, you know, we raise them, we collect them, another thing we haven't talked about, we mentioned Mary running the lab and our genetic testing. And we get to learn a lot from that, just getting the results of these animals and then going out and looking at them and seeing how these carrier defects either affect the animal live on the hoof, whether it be good or bad, and trying to predict exactly what these defects are doing, and particularly the new one with DS, how it's working, where it can scare you, where it can help you, because I think we've honestly been selecting for DS carrier cattle. Got another call. Another unsuspecting soul about to be put on the deal.
Who is it?
Brad, say hello to all the people. You're on a recording of one of our videos that your son's promoted. I sent you last night.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Brad not only is the sire to one of the coolest young men in the world, and like we just talked about, the champion junior showman at the Show Steer Junior Nationals, but he also, for whatever reason, is an avid goat guy, but a better person and loves him some Jesus. So, what we got going on today, Brad? How can we help you?
Well, I was just calling to visit for a minute, let you know you left your pickles at my feed store.
Man, really the only reason I actually go inside at your feed store is to get pickles whenever I'm low. And I bought some the other day and left them on the counter.
Yeah. I've been holding on to them though. It's gonna be okay.
Don't eat them.
I know how much.
All right, we need to come up with a way to like end these shows in Bullnanza Bull chat fashion.
Do we want to have a catchphrase? Do we
Yeah.
want a catchphrase?
Yeah, catchphrase. I mean, Bullnanza Bull chat. That's kind of our catchphrase, but I give a little ow.
Can we get a little ow from the audience? No, I think you could end it with
God we trust as a world champion.
ow. I think you could end it with thank you for joining us on Bullnanza Bull Chat, and we hope to see you again. Just talking some bull.
Talking some bull. Here we are, Bullnanza Bull chat. Just talking some bull.
Ow! Really well.
Jason, you're about to be really mad at a Mr. Matthew Campbell, and I'm pretty sure that Red Wolf and God We Trust is out in the wheat field to get brought in. It's either
No, those are yours.
no, those are those heifers.
Yeah. That's the world champion nunchucks.
Oh, Nunchucks 1834, and that heifer with the cool
World
legs.
champion, folks. Back. Pump the brakes a second. Back to what I was saying. World champion in God We Trust. Again.
And that's a heifer, full sieve to the one Matt was saying is his second favorite steer in the embryo. Here we are, Bullnanza Bull Chat, just talking some bull.
Ow!